Tell me about your experience with Kabbalah. You did it with your father, right?
That's right. My experience with Kabbalah was absolutely amazing. Before going into the class, I heard so many people talk about Kabbalah, saying it's the best thing ever. It's so good. I healed so much. I manifested so much. So I was so curious going into it, seeing what the energy would be like. And I loved that right away after that first weekend that I could feel my energy shift and kind of start to understand a little bit more of how my energy was raising through the experience of the Kabbalah Ascension program. And the studying that took place really integrated well with the energy that I was experiencing. Things were making more and more sense. Aspects of myself that I wanted to heal or strengthen in balance were continuing to make manifest. And all four of the ascensions, they all felt different. And of course, the final one with the supernals was very memorable, very important, and such a holy experience that I'm so honored to have experienced.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
I've done regular Kabbalah twice and Kabbalah for Kabbalists once. The first time I did it, it was really about learning like the new language and understanding the energy, and there was just so much healing during the process and really seeing a mirror of myself in the other group of people that I was with. And so it was such a blessing to have my first experience happening during COVID, and the world was just chaotic, but then I had this like peaceful, harmonious, like heaven that was just for us. And so I felt like we were really sheltered and protected. And then this whole new life just awakened during that experience. Yeah.
What about in your second time doing it as an audit? So you kind of had a little bit more of your footing.
Yeah, so I understood, the second time I understood the workings and the magic of the tree, and I really leaned into it. And so this one time I put like no limits on what I wanted to achieve. And because I had seen so much magic happen in the tree previously, I was able to just let go. And so much healing came through. I achieved all my goals so much faster, and the goals were so much larger. And so I understood how limitless this is. And it's just a new way of living. Life becomes so much more alive when you are living in the tree of life and understanding Kabbalah.
Kabbalah was awesome. It really opened up my awareness of myself and the magic that's all around us. And he's a testimonial of my life as far as the magic. Like, I wanted to flow partnership. I wanted to flow like deeper connections with people. And then like I found it, and I found it within myself, and I found it in my life with this guy.
Wow. David?
Kabbalah is amazing if you want to understand and begin to start to conquer and master yourself and all aspects of yourself. Something you may, parts of yourself you didn't know or realize it might be working or working for you, against you, you don't know. But excitement there. But in doing that, one of the biggest fruits is this lovely goddess right here in front of me. As you know, partnership was a big thing of mine, and also mastering and getting a good relationship with myself so I could be in a long-term partnership was huge. So yeah, Kabbalah.
It was really great because it was kind of intense for me, because I really chose to work on some of the issues I've had with what I would call people that I found very difficult to work with. And I had so many opportunities to work with people, and just that I would call my definition would be difficult. And I was able to really work on myself through the entire process and kind of dismantle what I was really doing. And it really had nothing to do with what other people were doing. And I found it during the process even, and certainly by the end, incredibly empowering. And I really let go of so many things so that I could move on with my life, just feeling, not feeling pushed around or anything by people. Basically, unspooling it kind of took care of the whole problem.
Yeah, it's so
very
powerful.
thankful.
Absolutely, it's incredible.
honestly, I had no idea what to expect. So if you feel like you don't know what to expect, you're in the right place, because you should come with no expectations. But what I did learn is that I learned that there is a lot that we need to learn about ourselves, and digging deeper into ourselves and understanding some of those places that need to be healed. And I don't know, I've been through a lot of different healings and a lot of different therapy and, prayer and different things like that. But this makes you go, why is that affecting me? And go a little bit deeper and really self-reflect on you and your issues, your triggers, your things, so that you can decide to respond a different way. At least for me, I have abandonment issues, which leads to unworthiness, which leads to trust issues and fears of people finding out who you truly are, and maybe even letting me figure out who I truly am, because I buried so much in who I am, and I'm afraid to be who you are, because you're thinking that that's not okay. So what I learned that I can pull away from attachments, and it not meaning that I'm leaving you or that I don't like you, but that I can be separate from you. And that was something I felt like, especially in a relationship, that I needed to be constantly with you for affirmation that you care about me, right? And so, logging truck. And, but the finding out that I can hold my own personal space, and that's a term that I don't know, but finding out that I can hold my own space and yet still interact and be me and it be okay is a big deal.
So I've done the Universal Hermetic Ray Kabbalah 3 times, and I've done Kabbalah for Kabbalists, which is the next level one. The first time I did Kabbalah, it was amazing. I mean, every time it was amazing. The first time is a bit harder, right? Because you're kind of figuring things out. You're really learning a whole new language, a whole new system, a new way to hold yourself. There's a lot to clear up. There's a lot to clean up. There's a lot to learn. So it felt great. Well, it felt great at the end. Obviously it was definitely felt like a climbing the mountain, especially with the study groups. Back in the day it was optional, but I was there for every class because I was like, no matter what happens. Actually, when I first started Kabbalah, one of the goals I want to accomplish was that I put it out, is that I want to finish Kabbalah. Because I wanted to I had a pattern of not finishing things, and so I wanted to heal the pattern. So I was like, well, this 10-month journey, I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to complete, and I did it. The biggest gift that I will receive from Kabbalah the first time and the second time and the third time actually has been a lot of inner healing, to become a lot more present and grounded in who I am, so that I could actually utilize all the gifts that I actually already have. It's kind of like the gift was kind of just floating around, but the more I was becoming more present and the more I healed, I was able to harness them more. And to now, after 3 times doing Kabbalah, really be able to use them correctly to help people in the right way.
Yeah, that's honestly such a huge point to bring up, because they're there, right? They're always there, but it is kind of working
how
through
do you
some
make
layers.
that happen? How do we harness it? And that's what, with my clients too, because I was like that, I have a lot of people coming in with, oh my gosh, I know I need to do this, I have all these gifts, but how do I make it happen in the physical? And honestly, how for me, and my answer is Kabbalah. It may take some time, but it's going to work.
A lot of understanding about many gods and angels we have in this world. It's opened my mind, and it's changed me. I look in different perspective on the things in life than I was before. I fought my ego, and I become much more positive person than I am.
Wow, that's quite new.
When I began, I would say I was pretty cynical still overall. I had a lot of doubts and concerns, and I found that when I started Kabbalah, everyone that I saw around me, I was really critical of. Even the person sitting next to me, I was like, I don't really know if I want to be sitting next to them. And by the end of the 10-month Kabbalah, same person, had my arms wide open, loved them like a brother, and I would have never been able to foresee that before, because what the process does is it cleans off the filters you have of both yourself, but then also the filters of how you perceive other people and the world. And what Kabbalah does is it connects you back to the light, and the light that's within you, and the light that is all around you. And so by the end of it, and even this past tree that Aaron Wallace did, I was able to help set up for, and talking to the people afterwards, or seeing how people were after this process, it's night and day. You won't recognize yourself after you do this process, because it's one of the most purifying things you could possibly do in your entire life. And I would recommend it 1,000 times over.
One of the things that's talked about in Kabbalah, or that we get to experience head on, is manifestation of fruits. Was there anything that comes to mind in terms of the fruits that you created?
Yeah, well, I ended up, I would say, getting another job where I made as a teacher, I made another $50,000 a year. And that was really incredible. And I also, so I'm very thankful for that.
The greatest gift from Kabbalah for me really has been that inner healing, so that I feel safer in my own body, in my own temple, so that I'm becoming more and more present after really every day on the tree, but let's say after having that 3 times, it's just becoming so much more present, so that I can be multidimensional and doing all these things that I want to do. Not just like, oh, I have this job, or like I have this role. No, being able to handle multiple roles, multiple positions, multiple responsibilities, and doing them well, instead of dropping the ball, right? So really that ability to be multidimensional has been such a great gift from Kabbalah for me.
Yeah, it's
one
huge.
of many, but like that's what I always share.
So many. There were so many things that I had in my subconscious mind, things I had dissociated with from whether it was trauma. And so those came to the surface, and so I was able to look at them really clearly and be able to heal those. But from a physical standpoint, I was able to sell my home for more money than we anticipated. I was able to buy the home that we really desired. I launched 2 businesses. So just so many fruits on top of just knowing myself better and knowing how to work with the energy of the tree. And that's really the magic of it all.
Yes. So some of them happened very quickly, almost too quickly. That's what would I almost sometimes when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, did that really happen that fast? And it totally did. Going into it, I was curious because I heard there was a lot of people that kind of met their partner during Kabbalah. And so I was curious to see if that would happen. It literally happened within a month of starting Kabbalah. That was kind of nuts. Within a few weeks, I had a goal of opening a center for my light work, and found the place within that first month, which is kind of ridiculous. And the aspects that I wanted to heal within myself were also kind of starting to take place during that time. I know that my creativity was enhanced, and through Kabbalah I manifested actually getting back into DJing. Music has been such an important part of my life, especially dance music. And there were just kind of like aspects of myself that I totally put aside for many years that were starting to come back. And so it was like I could feel myself being more of my true essence. And yeah, I'd say those are some initial things.
Yeah.
All my piece of Kabbalah is like all manifested.
Wow.
And I see my manifestation come closer, faster and faster. everything I wish for came true, and I'm just gonna continue to do that.
I love that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Would you say that this is something that even someone that is in a religious point of view that can take something from, get some kind of benefit from?
There is definitely aspects of, I think there's aspects of everything that go together, and if you allow yourself to open up and glean what you I'm not saying throw the bath out with the baby water or the water out with the whatever,
The baby with
the bath water, the baby with the bath water, but just that you should be, use your discernment, use your own mind, use your own judgment in how you feel about it and what you think. Don't be afraid.
What would you say to someone that is maybe interested but doesn't know if it's the right thing for them? Maybe they're on the fence, still a bit skeptical.
Yeah, I would say that Kabbalah is for everyone, and it's truly about living life alive. We are programmed from the day that we were born, and Kabbalah is really about undoing and really tapping into what is the magic of life. How do I create as God creates? How do I live a limitless life? How do I bring in more joy? How do I know myself so much better? And so it's for everyone. There is no limits. It doesn't matter, what your beliefs are, what your ethnicity is, what your wealth status is, sexual preference. It's for everyone because everyone can benefit from it. And it's life-changing. It's transformative.
That is watching this, that is thinking about Kabbalah, that maybe thinks, I don't quite understand enough to know that it's for me. I have a feeling if someone's saying, hey, I hope that you consider trying Kabbalah, that is kind of enough to get you to make the choice of starting that experience, because basically magic and miracles are going to happen. If you go through the whole process, I bet something incredible you would have never expected happens, and in the best way possible. So I super encourage you, and I hope to hear the good experiences that you have one day from saying.
As my clients asking if it's religion, no, it's not about religious. It's about spirituality and understanding who you are.
Beautiful. Is there anything else you want to add?
Just take the class.
The biggest thing I'm really appreciative of the journey is that the tree of life, it meets you where you're at. It meets you where you're at. So no matter where you're starting, obviously, you've never done it. Of course, you may feel doubts or fears or whatever, right? We're going to the unknown. We're doing something new, which is already a big step because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. So even just doing that is already huge. But then the moment you're in the journey, you're going to be met exactly where you're at. It's going, the people that come into your life, the things that happen, it'll present you opportunities to shift in ways that you would never, I never dreamt of that I could go beyond what I thought, I could be. And so, and at the same time, it's kind of it's a really good stretching, but it's also, it's just a sweet spot where it's hard enough where you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this, but also, oh, I can actually do this. So it's, I just find it so cool.
Yeah.
And if you knew that you would be met exactly where you're at, what's left to worry about? Whatever you need to deal with will be exactly what you're capable of and more. So that's so do it, and then just if you're climbing the mountain, you're gonna learn to let go of the baggages, and you always get the tools, maybe new rituals, new understanding to equip you on the journey ahead. So again, it meets you where you're at because you'll always receive more as you go ahead, so you'll have the strength to continue forward. Yeah. So you're totally taken care of.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
Do it.
Just do it. Just do it. You'll thank yourself later. Yeah. Just do it.